Have you ever wondered why some relationships naturally deepen with distance while others fall apart? Why some absences make hearts grow fonder while others just grow distant? It's a painful paradox. We want to be missed, to know we matter even when we're not there. But in that desire, we often resort to tactics that feel manipulative and ultimately self-defeating. Think about it. How many times have you deliberately not texted back, hoping to create longing? How often have you pretended to be busier than you actually were? And how did that work out for you? The truth is, making someone miss you through games doesn't create genuine connection. It creates anxiety, insecurity, and eventually distance, the very thing you were trying to avoid. But there's another way, a way where being missed isn't about absence, but about presence and authenticity. Today, I'm going to share how to create the kind of connection where she genuinely misses, not because you're playing mind games, but because your presence in her life is meaningful and irreplaceable. Let's address the dating advice that's been circulating for decades. Don't be too available. Make her wonder where you are. There's a kernel of truth here that's been twisted into something toxic. Yes, scarcity can create value, but manufactured scarcity just creates doubt. When you deliberately ignore messages or create mysterious absence, you're not building intrigue, you're building distrust. She's not thinking, wow, I miss him so much. She's thinking, is he playing games with me? Is he reliable? Pause and reflect. Have you ever truly valued someone who made you feel insecure about their interest in you? Or did you eventually just feel exhausted? So what makes someone genuinely miss you? It's simple. People miss what makes them feel good. They miss experiences, emotions, and connections that add value to their lives. Think about what you miss when you're away from someone you care about. Is it their inconsistency, their games? You miss their laugh. You miss how they listen to you, like what you're saying matters. You miss the way they remember that small detail you mentioned weeks ago. That's what creates genuine longing. Not absence itself, but the absence of something meaningful. The first step in making her miss you is to be genuinely present when you are together. Create moments worth remembering. When you're with her, be with her. Put down your phone. Ask questions that matter. Listen, not just to respond, but to understand. Create moments where she thinks, I've never experienced this with anyone else, because that's what she'll miss. Not your strategic absence, but your meaningful presence. Here's where many men get it wrong. They think unpredictability creates desire, but what unpredictability actually creates is anxiety. What creates security, the foundation for any lasting connection, is consistency. When you're consistently respectful, consistently communicative, consistently kind, you become someone she can trust. And trust is the soil in which missing someone grows. We don't miss people we can't trust. We feel relieved when they're gone. We miss people who have proven that they are who they say they are. People whose words match their actions. People who show up, not just physically, but emotionally. Be that person, the one who follows through, the one who means what he says. This kind of authenticity creates a bond that distance can't break. It creates trust where absence triggers genuine longing for reconnection. The most attractive quality isn't availability, it's engagement with life. Are you drawn to people whose entire existence revolves around you, or to people who have rich, fulfilling lives that you get to be part of? The paradox is that to be truly missed, you need to have a life worth missing from. Cultivate your passions, deepen your friendships, pursue your goals, build a life that excites you, not to impress her, but because it's genuinely your life. When you do this, your absences aren't manipulative, they're natural. You're not playing hard to get. You're hard to get because you're genuinely engaged with your own existence. And when you return from these natural absences, you have something to share. You have stories, insights, growth. That cycle of separation and return creates a natural rhythm of missing and reconnection that deepens your bond. I'm not suggesting you should never create space. Distance, when approached mindfully, can be healthy. But there's a world of difference between manipulative distance and thoughtful distance. Manipulative distance is, I'm not going to text her back for 3 days so she'll wonder where I am. Thoughtful distance is, I'm taking a weekend for myself to recharge because I value this relationship enough to bring my best self to it. When you create distance thoughtfully, you communicate it clearly. You say, I'm taking some time for myself this weekend. I'll call you Sunday night. This transparency shows respect, and paradoxically, it makes her miss you more because she's not distracted by anxiety or confusion. She can focus on genuinely missing your presence rather than questioning your intentions. When the distance ends, whether it's a few hours or days, how do you reconnect? Are you fully present? Do you ask about her time apart from you? Do you express that you missed her too? The way you handle returns is just as important as the way you handle departures. Each reunion reinforces the value of your presence in her life. Show her that you're genuinely happy to see her again. Not in a needy way, but in a way that acknowledges the simple joy of being together again. This creates a positive association with the cycle of separation and return. It teaches that distance isn't a threat to your connection. It's a natural rhythm that makes your time together even more precious. The deepest form of missing someone isn't about physical absence. It's about emotional presence. When you create genuine emotional intimacy, when you share your thoughts, fears, dreams, you create a bond that transcends physical presence. She won't just miss your face or touch. She'll miss your understanding, your perspective, the way you see the world, the way you see her. This vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the ultimate strength in relationships. When you create this kind of emotional bond, you don't need games to be missed. Your absence creates a genuine emotional vacancy that no one else can fill, not because you've made yourself artificially scarce, but because you've made yourself authentically irreplaceable. There's a sweet spot between suffocating presence and cold distance. When you're apart, small touches of thoughtfulness matter. A text saying, "You're thinking of her," a photo of something that reminded you of a conversation you had. These aren't desperate attempts to maintain constant connection. They're thoughtful bridges across the distance. The key is quality, not quantity. One thoughtful message means more than 20 generic "hey" texts. This kind of communication doesn't prevent her from missing you. It enhances it. It reminds her of your connection without trying to replace the real thing. To be missed, you need to create space for that feeling to emerge. When you're constantly texting and calling, you don't give her room to experience your absence. There's a natural ebb and flow to human connection. We come together, we separate, we return. The separation isn't just empty space, it's where longing grows. It's where she reflects on your last interaction and anticipates the next one. Don't fill every moment with noise. Trust that if you've created genuine connection, if you've added real value to her life, she will miss you. Making someone miss you isn't about making yourself scarce. It's about making yourself valuable, not through manipulation or games, but through genuine connection and authentic presence. When you approach relationships this way, you don't have to worry about tactical absences. You don't have to count the hours before responding to a text. Instead, you can focus on building something real, something based on trust, respect, and genuine care. And yes, sometimes that will mean she misses you when you're not around. But more importantly, it means she'll value you when you are. Because ultimately, being missed isn't the goal. Being valued is. Being someone who brings joy, understanding, and love into another person's life. That's what matters. When you become that person, you never have to play games to be missed. Your absence will be genuinely felt, and your presence will be genuinely cherished. That's how you make her miss you without playing games. Not through manipulation, but through meaning. Not through absence, but through presence that matters. Create a connection worth missing, and you'll never have to wonder if she's thinking about you when you're gone. And in that mutual longing, something beautiful happens. Not dependency, but appreciation. The simple recognition that this person adds something to your life that no one else can. That's not a game, that's love.